But fortunately, I think the article said that the employee was able to like put out the fire immediately. Everything okay?
It's kind of funny. You're like, why? You just got out.
It's just because people are dumb. They never know what they're doing. They know crime repeats itself. Crime repeats itself. Because, anyways. So everyone, welcome to another episode of the Convoluted Podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here with Liz.
Hey.
And if it's your first time listening or watching, you're always welcome to subscribe or follow. It's free. You can always unsubscribe or unfollow. It's been a while since I've said that catchphrase. It's been a while. We weren't able to.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We didn't release an episode last week. It was a hectic week. We went out camping. There is going to be a special bonus episode. We did record one up there. It was going to come out with this one, but I got locked out of my office just this other day, so I wasn't able to do anything. So.
Oh shit! Good timing to get back in there right now. That's Saturday.
Yeah. So I was like, it took most of the day mostly my brother and my dad trying to get into our office before we had to get a locksmith. But yeah, if you guys want to hear more about our camping trip, well, there's gonna be a bonus episode there. Just a little brief here. I could say it was fun, enjoyable, away from everything.
Oh yeah.
So, but more if you want to hear more about that, there's gonna be a bonus episode, probably next week, not this week's bonus episode. But yeah, that's kind of also the reason I wasn't able to upload any of the photos I wanted, because I just couldn't get to the office. All the photos were in my camera. The one time, like, you actually use a camera besides your phone, which is, like, I get, having a nice camera to take photos is good, but the ability to actually move the files is so annoying,
I know, right?
And like,
taking it off the chip, putting it on the computer, and then you have to find a way to save that in case there's you always have to have like a backup. Everything, it seems like nowadays. Okay, I have the chip. Now I can save the chip, but I have to put it somewhere I'm going to find it. But I also going to put the file on the computer, and I'm going to upload it somewhere so that gets lost. I have it somewhere too. Like, but you got to remember the password to that. Like, it's
just so much.
Cycle.
It's there's so much. I actually, did you know? I saw my sister always sends me these TikToks to remind me. Did you know that Amazon has unlimited photo space if you have Amazon Prime?
I think I've heard about this.
Yeah, she sent me like a TikTok.
I might have to do this.
Yeah, she sent me a TikTok that says, "Oh, these are the secret perks that you have with your Amazon Prime," which is like it's not that it's a secret. It's just like below everything else people use Amazon Prime for. Because for the most part, when you think Amazon Prime, you think 2-day shipping, Amazon Video, right?
Overnight shipping, your groceries delivered.
Yeah, just the simple stuff, right? You don't ever really think about some of the other features where if you have Audible, you get 2 books for free. This is not a sponsorship, so just to let you know, this is not a sponsored. There's just some of the things I know that you can get. It's like, then you get like you get certain perks with Amazon Music. Apparently with Discord, if you have Amazon Music, you can now listen with your Discord group music ad free. Like, whoa, that's useful. And
It is very useful.
but the some of the secret ones is like I mentioned earlier, you have unlimited photo space. You have exclusive movie premiere tickets. You get 2 movie tickets free for like certain movies. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you just never know, unless you actually look into. I remember doing it, but then I completely forgot because I think the time I looked into it, the movie I wanted that they were promoting was not a movie I wanted to see. Which is like, oh, and then I just completely forgot because they don't make it easy either to get those tickets. You have to get like this voucher. Some things are easy, like Amazon 2-day delivery, compared to getting quote free movie tickets, but
Right.
that's there here and not there. But at least for myself, I have a specific portable drive where I keep all my photos in there, just one place. But that's also, if I lose that, all photos are gone. And at least we're in the day where at least you can keep all the files in one spot compared to having physical photos. And then if they're lost forever.
Yeah.
Like, does your family still print out, photos?
No. Nope. The last time we ever used it, and I mean like within the last 5 years, it was my kiddo wanted pictures to
Go
put on the
photos.
poster, so we had to go. Yeah, basic. But we were doing it for a project for
Uh,
them to say, hey, who I am, what I've done with my life, and all that kind of stuff, and how many countries, and all that kind of stuff. So we put random stuff like that on her uh, sheet board. So we had like pictures of like the dog, and I don't think Max was involved in that, so not yet. But we're just like pictures of like places we've been and places she's done and things like that. So there was pictures of her and her family, and she could kind of show it off, like here, who, what I am, and all that jazz. And it was a good fun. It was a fun little project, and it was nice to print out some of those pictures and have like the physical forms of it. I'm like, I still have one right here, which is really weird. It's funny that she's holding her cousin. So I love it. It's just kind of fun to have that little picture rolling around, having like that physical, tangible thing. So.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I recently been thinking about it because the other day I haven't stepped into a Walgreens in years, like years. There's no real reason for me to step into a Walgreens. You just but it was the first time in a long time where normally for me Walgreens was a place people got their photos developed. I mean, got their photos developed, picked up medicine, and just picked up it was kind of like a convenience store, a little bit.
Yeah.
And
really, it's kind of still is.
Yeah, it when I went back in, I could feel that, like, oh, I haven't been in one of these in probably, if I'm being generous, almost a decade since I've walked into a Walgreens. That's how long it's been since I've walked in one of those. And then as I was just grab some stuff that you could apparently you can only pick up at a Walgreens. All I could hear was people like calling for people at the development station. I'm like, and I was just thinking, like, are there photos that I would want to get developed? There are some that I would like.
We took some amazing pictures from our trip. So.
Oh, definitely, yeah. There's definitely some. If you watch the bonus episode, I'll be popping some up as we talk. My brother definitely took some really nice photos.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the thing. It's like everyone had phones, right? And everyone's phones have different quality cameras and stuff. And depending on how some phones can do better photos than others, but then it's depending on how you use it, right? Because
and if you know how to manipulate it too, like I think it's part of that too. If you know how to manipulate how to take those pictures.
Exactly, because people don't know that a lot of like small projects, even some bigger projects, are filmed on phones. That's how good the quality of phones are, and it's how you how you use those things and how you use that product, and then how you like edit it afterwards. You can do a lot of crazy things. Sometimes when YouTube first started, back in the day, a lot of people were using those kind of camcorders. I still have one of my old ones where I was recording with this little guy, like an action pro, and then I would upload these files. For anyone listening, it's just a little kind of action camera for those listeners, but for
literally fits the size of his palm.
Yeah, and for those watching, yeah, you see, I would record with this little guy, my TV, and that's how a lot of people do it. But then with these last couple of years, like everyone has a phone, everyone can upload. That's kind of where you got the Instagram, the TikToks, the Vine, all that stuff popped off. And then people then want quality. But then if you really just took the time and learned how to use the tech that's provided, you can get some really good stuff out of it. If I took more time, because that's kind of a fun secret, that's how we do our thumbnails for our show. We like use one of my old phones, which has a decent camera on it, and just take photos on there for our thumbnails. We don't need like an $800 camera to
No.
just take thumbnail. Like some people do, but that's like higher quality. We're just doing this for fun. But,
Yeah, I'm kidding.
and that's actually how sometimes we record our videos too, using that same camera, like that same phone, like because it just does that well of quality video, and you don't really need to take that time. But kind of going back to the physical and digital, like you know how there's a lot of like digital picture frames and stuff like that. Like I like the idea of those, but sometimes just having a like standard photo frame with just that single photo just means a lot more.
It does. It has more sentiment to it too. It might be the person you like or love, and it might be one of the last pictures you took with that person. I mean, like literally, it's one of those sentiments to it. I love the tangible. Like I still love tangible. Like I don't know, I'm just a physical person. Like my books are still physical books. I don't actually read on any Kindle or a phone. I can't do it. So it's interesting to say the least.
True. I've been on the physical media bandwagon for a very long time. Like it's nice to have digital comp things of stuff because it's less clutter, right? That's the idea. It's less clutter. But if I could and I could afford it, I would have a lot of more physical media, like books and stuff like that, or like we still have DVDs. Like my brother-in-law, he would just buy all those DVDs when they were on sale, because the idea now is that everything's on streaming, right? But then how long is it on streaming for until the rights are gone, and then it's gone forever? Then you have to go on. But if you have the DVD, then it's yours, right? You can watch it whenever.
Yep.
But we don't have. It's very hard. Like, we were talking about this the other day. Like, do you know anyone still who has a DVD player?
I do. A DVD Blu-ray player. I still do.
Do you still use it?
No. Oh, I don't still use it. Maybe my kiddo does, because we still have DVDs rolling.
Like we have 2 DVD players in storage. We just don't use them because there's no point. It just take time to pick it out, set it up, and then actually find the media. I think people are just too set in convenience these days, where they just don't want.
I know it really is. They are truly a set inconvenience. So.
And then they complain.
I think the funny thing is that and it's kind of straying off the topic a little bit. Remember how we used to download illegally songs and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, like LimeWire and everything and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
That's coming back. I don't. Well, yeah, because think about it. All those shows and stuff, like once it's gone off the air, it's gone, and once rights are gone, like what happens when one of your favorite shows is just permanently gone and no one has the rights to it? How are you ever gonna watch it?
I know, right? I miss those. Like, there's some stuff that you can't see anymore these days. You can't find it. So,
Yeah.
no, that's cool. If somebody's bringing that back, and we're able to watch some of our good old shows that we watched in the 90s.
Exactly. There's like a lot of TV shows and stuff like that are just lost to the void because the rights were lost, or they're in like some vault, never to be seen again. Like we saw them once and that's it. And people think because it's on streaming does that you might get a chance, but they're just probably gone. But we don't condone the piracy, but I'm glad there's an option for some people, because to be able to emulate some stuff is kind of what's keeping some media alive for other generations, because that's the only way you'll be able to share it, because then it's just gonna be lost media, like a lot of lost media. They're like, I've been down a rabbit hole of lost media stuff for the last couple months. There's a YouTube channel I've been watching that just hunts down lost media, like just obscure things. Like there was apparently this one song that recently they found out where it got discovered, this little song from a clip, and people have spent like the last couple years just digging around, finding different forums. They finally found what it's from, and it's funny enough, it came from an old, like an old, uh,
MP3 player.
no, an old porno clip.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah, back when the things were like scripted and all there was actual storylines and stuff, or quote storylines. But yeah, it was like a 15-second audio clip, and that's where it's from. And it took a couple years, a bunch of people, just to find where that audio clip came from. But it's the idea of like people working together to find these lost media, stuff like that. There's been a lot happening in these couple years as things like in that nature, which I like. I like that. But yeah, we've been on a very long tangent.
Yes, we did.
But yeah, let us know actually down in the comments. What are you guys thoughts? Do you guys like physical? Do you enjoy digital? The convenience of that, or do you like having the physical copy in your hand, having it tangible? Let us know down in the comments down below. But yeah, let's kind of jump into one of the first stories, because some people enjoy taking a lot of tangible things. Go ahead, Liz.
Yes. 2 Chicago women awaiting trial for their theft caught shoplifting again in Oak Brook. Excuse me. Oak Brook, Illinois. 2 Chicago women awaiting trial for shoplifting are accused of committing the act once more at the West Suburban beauty store, allegedly making off with more than $1,150 worth of merchandise.
What is that? Probably 5 products.
Baby, who knows? I don't know. Renisha McDowell, 31, and Shania Jacobs, 28, each face felony charges of burglary and retail theft after leaving the Ulta Beauty store located on 2155 West 22nd Street in Oak Brook without paying for the items on Thursday, August 29th. Oak Brook police, Oak Brook officers, sorry, that is such a weird one, Oak Brook, officers arrested the pair and allegedly found perfumes worth approximately $1,168. Weeks earlier, on August 9th, prosecutors alleged that the pair left a J.C. Penney store at a 175 Yorktown Mall Drive with jewelry box containing a necklace and women's clothing. Both women were arrested and charged of felony, burglary, and retail theft and released with conditions. A judge denied a pretrial release for both women. They were due back in court in late September. I guess they didn't learn their lesson the first time. We can get away with it this time. I swear. They're not going to catch us this time.
Sadly, most criminals don't. We talk about so many stupid criminals. Like, do it once, shame on you. Do it twice, double shame on you. Like what were these people? Like,
I don't know. But it's pretty funny though. I mean,
oh no, it's definitely hilarious.
Got caught twice. Like, you just what? You got your stipulations to be out free, and then you're out robbing, like stealing again.
And for something so like something so like not even worth it. You know? Like makeup, that's it.
It was mostly perfume. I don't think that's gonna get the stink out of them.
Damn Liz. Like,
stink of crime.
Unless they're kind of like resell it or something. Yeah, there's no real point. It's one of the things where when people are just doing all these crazy things after they were released, right? Like, this is another reason why our jail system just is failing. Like, where's the rehabilitation? You know, like,
I don't think they were even in jail. They were prosecuting and said, "Hey, come back. You've got this court to deal with for this theft." And then they decided, "Oh, well, we're going,
do another theft."
They would have gotten probably off with probation, but now that they've done this the second time, they're definitely going to jail. They're going to the federal system.
Oh shoot! Actually, there's another story. If you scroll down, I want to read this one because it's crazy. As I was just scrolling down, It says teen worker punch with brass knuckles in Queen's store.
I heard about that,
Oh, let's
but I
read.
didn't post it.
No, here, let's read this a little bit. A shoplifter allegedly punched a teen worker in the face with brass knuckles while he and his 2 accomplices were being kicked out of the Queen store last month, police said Thursday. The 18-year-old worker was attacked in a business at 8801 Queens Boulevard at around 9 p.m. on July 25th. The 3 suspects were being escorted out of the store when one robber punched the teen in the face with brass knuckles, chipping his tooth. Police said the victim was not hospitalized. The shoplifter made off with the officer's office equipment before fleeing the scene. Police said that there has been no arrest. Oh, that sucks. Person still out. The neighborhood is patrolled by officers from 110th precinct, where the robbers and the misdemeanor assaults have spiked this year. Oh, nothing really more important. Bro, that sucks. That sucks so much because
you're doing your job and then you get punched with
and it's probably it's probably one of their first jobs, and that's how make you not want to work. No kidding.
Like,
imagine that's your first job getting out of high school. I'm like, okay, I'm just working at the store. I'm like, and you're just seeing a scuffle. Like, okay, I'm gonna stay away, and then you just get punched. Like, would you want to go back to work after that, Liz?
No. I just chipped a tooth. My smile was incomplete.
Like, that's just very disheartening.
It's not even quality anymore for the store. That's like, my employee didn't look so good. Shove him to the back room now.
What's the minimum wage in New York?
I thought it was somewhere around 15, like here in the Northwest. Not positive.
$16. That's not that bad.
No, I wasn't that far off.
But I don't think it's still worth. I don't think it's still worth 16 to get punched in the face. You know.
No, not worth it for $16 an hour.
mostly with the brass knuckles. You know.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's another. That's next level. Like a punch. Yeah, to get punched like that's not bad. But like, okay, not great. But at least some people can take a punch. But adding the brass knuckles to your why I oughta just pow.
Yeah. I'm seriously crazy.
Okay.
It's definitely assault. Some people would definitely be faced with assault charges too.
Yeah. If they call them.
Anybody really want assault charges on their record?
Actually, talking about that.
Flagged or red.
Actually, talking about like people attacking like convenience stores and stuff like that. There's something that happened in our out across the pond here. The last article I posted. You want to read that one?
Let me read that one. Sure. Arsonists set themselves on fire as they tried to burn down corner shop with petrol.
Look how smart they are. Aren't they very smart?
Yes, they are very, very smart.
Maybe they were just trying to keep themselves warm, you know?
Maybe. Just like that fire. I finally saw that posting. What is he doing? Handing you some food?
Candies.
Huh. Nice. This is like that. Remember that fire trash can fire you posted in the chat? I finally saw that. You're trying to keep warm. That was in our chat of Discord.
Oh yeah. Oh, fine.
Arsonists set themselves on fire as they tried to burn down a corner shop in Manchester on Sunday, the 26th of August. A hooded trio covered their faces before pouring petrol on the floor of a Zapp's Go local in Butler Street. Before settling it alight, which one individual appeared to film the incident on their phone. CCTV captured two of them setting themselves alight before fleeing the scene. Greater Manchester police are appealing for the information after launching an investigation into the arson attack. We don't know if it's personal or We're a big part of the community. We don't know what could have caused it. Shop owner Zaf Iqbal 39 said. That was all that was said. So interesting. A light. Is the video able to? No, you don't have the video. It's. I think it'd be funny though.
Yeah, the video, it's only an image. But damn, that once again, it's just people just probably just they don't know have any motive at the moment. Like we just don't know, right? What the motive is. But it's just a person obstructing someone's business and just kind of rooting.
It sounds like a small business. It wasn't like something they were like a huge branch, so
which is like
that's crazy.
Yeah, and we'll describe kind of the video a little bit. So it's just I'm trying to see if I can play the audio. So as they looks like video starting, we're watching the CCTV footage of okay, so it's it's just like they literally just walk in and start pouring this stuff.
And then they just light it. Themselves.
And then they burned. And then one guy got a little on himself.
Jesus just walks in, starts pouring it, lights it, walks away.
And then his buddy's on fire. And then he smacks himself. Yeah, it's just like they just walk in. They don't even like spend time to kind of case the joint. They just like look around. No, they just walk in and.
No, they walked in, poured the petrol, and lit it a fire. The guy was standing right there, like watching his shop was about to go fired.
Well, but fortunately, I think the article said that the employee was able to like put out the fire immediately. Is everything okay?
Yeah, my light just flickered.
Oh, I thought that was us too. Wait, that was weird. Did anyone else notice that? Mikey, did our lights flicker? Mikey can't hear me. That was weird. I thought my lights flickered.
That was very weird.
Did my flicker or it's just you?
I think it was me. It was me who flickered. I was like, what the hell is up above me?
That was weird.
I was thinking somebody was messing with the light switch.
Room. Okay, that was weird.
The ghost is alive.
Anyways, yeah, it's. I hope they catch these individuals. Just because they're just nuisances that can cause real damage. Because it caused what? Did it say? I think it was like five digits of damage to the place.
Oh, I didn't say that on the thing, so.
Okay, but it just hurts the neighborhood because now one of the local hurts their neighborhood, hurts the people. What's again just people just being nuisances for unknown reasons until we find out. Like maybe they had a bad deal or the owner didn't let them buy beer or something.
Who knows? Who knows? Everybody's got something up their ass, right? Stick up their ass.
Sadly, yeah. Just people are being just like annoyed. There is one story of a guy who definitely has a reason to be annoyed. Do you want me to read it?
Sure. I have no idea which one it is. There's so many of them out there.
Yeah, this guy has a reason to be annoyed because a surgeon accused of letting his teenage daughter drill holes in the patient's skull. Would you be upset if that happened to you?
Fuck yeah. You let a 13-year-old who has no freaking degree in this thing just start drilling a hole in my head. Bruh. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
So, a surgeon in Austria is under investigation for allowing her 13-year-old daughter to drill a hole in the patient's skull. A 33-year-old man flown to University Hospital Graz was with a serious head injury in January following an accident in Austrian forest. The female neurosurgeon who has not been named, is alleged to have allowed her daughter to actively take part in the emergency surgery, including drilling open the patient's skull, according to the Austrian Kornzell's newspaper. The surgeon was completed without problems. However, in April, an anonymous complaint lodged with the public prosecutor office in Graz, the regional capital of Staria,
Syria.
Staria, Austria's second largest
Syria.
prompted an investigation. The patient reportedly first read about the incident in the media, so even the guy didn't know.
Oh, Jesus. They didn't even contact him. Oh, this is going to be released into the thing. He was like, oh, shit, that was me. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, my HIPAA.
Bruh. Only to be informed by police in July. So January, February, March, April, June, July.
7 months. 6 or 7 months, basically.
Peter
Fairburger.
The lawyer said that you lied there, unwillingly unconscious, becoming a guinea pig. Quote. There's probably no other way to put it. That's not possible. You can't do that. Let's see here. Okay, before we go to that is insane. That is, there's been a lot of things like that happening around. Like, there's been doctors on TikTok who do stuff like that while their patients are unconscious and things like that. That is one of the most, like, I think being in surgery alone, not alone, but
you're not alone, because you have technically nurses and.
But you know what I mean. Being
all that jazz.
The statement is you being not alone. What's the best way to put it? That alone in surgery is like already scary, frightening, and then putting basically your body in someone else's hands, like.
Your life, essentially, because you go under. You're not exactly alive, awake for this shenanigans.
Yeah, you're putting.
I'm only speaking from experience. A year ago.
Exactly. You're putting your trust in them, right? And you would hope they did, because there's been so many stories popping up. There was like a guy who put his initials on someone's liver. There's been people who just been doing like simple, like goofy TikToks while their patients are passed out in the background. Like, how upset would you be if that was you?
I'd be pissed. Be like, I wasn't authorizing this. I didn't authorize this shenanigans.
And then just taking this long
to get your job done. Get in and get out. That's the whole point of a surgery. The longer they're sedated, the longer the problems.
So let's continue. Let's see here. The hospital has confirmed that the surgeon who performed the operation and the senior surgeon who was there, so there was 2 people there, and no one said anything here, who was there at the time, were both suspended from duty with immediate effect. Both are being investigated on suspicion of causing serious bodily harm. That's good. I agree with that. I agree. Right. Let's see here. 5 other people who were in the operating room are also under investigation for failure to prevent the act that is punishable by law. There were 7 people in that room and no one stopped it, Liz. Like, what are your thoughts hearing that? There were 7 people and no one said anything. Or, well, actually, no, there was 8. There was 8. Remember, there was 8 people. The kid surgeon.
Yeah. Again, so think about all those nurses and all those technicians that are in there. They're afraid to lose their jobs. It's that fear of retribution of saying, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. Well, then you can leave my OR.
Well,
you can leave this hospital. You're no longer required to be here. Everybody needs a job. Everybody needs their hours. They all need their working, pay. So.
Well, it sounds like no one's going to be working now.
Bruh.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's
a lot of people. But again, that's usually what happens, right? When you're in a major surgery like that and there's a lot of people in there and they didn't say shit.
So now the Mr. Fairburger is now looking to sue the surgical team and deem the compensation for his pain and suffering. Demand compensation for the pain and suffering of the victim, who is said to have been unable to return to work. Oh wow, okay. The hospital, which operates, has neither confirmed nor denied whether the teenager drilled the hole. kind of hard. I wonder, do those get filmed at all?
Depending on if it's something major, sometimes, but patients have to oblige to it too. So,
This was an emergency.
We have the surgery. This is emergency surgery. They probably didn't have to. They didn't ask beforehand, and if they did it afterwards, or did it while and then asked afterwards, I mean, it depends on the situation. It depends if it's for research causes or for learning purposes. They would have to disclose that information.
Okay. Here's the thing. So apparently, in a statement at the end of May, Kage's admitted that the girl may have actively participated in the operation, but stressed that the procedure was carried without complication. What do you think of that statement?
Still, 13 years old, drilling to my head. Never done this surgery before.
No, we don't know if they drilled the head. They just were an active participant.
Like they were in there doing something?
They could have been holding the tray.
They can't be holding trays. You can't physically hold trays in the doors. They will.
Bruh.
I'm telling you right now.
Liz, I'm trying to help the little girl. You know, she didn't do nothing wrong.
13 years old. I don't care if they're watching from above. Not in my OR. I don't care. If you want to see how the surgery is done, watch from above. Not down and below participating.
Okay, so the lawyer said that everyone present during the surgery shared responsibility, adding that neither Kage nor the hospital and the contacted the victim. He told the German newspaper Bild, whatever, that there has been no contact, nor explanation, or apology. Nothing. It's simply unidentified. Yeah, it kind of sucks. He's no information, no contact about the incident. That's kind of not cool. I don't know what the medical laws out in Austria are. But that's kind of just feels like you just are being trying to swept under the rug, you know?
Yeah, literally.
So apparently the hospital did put out a statement, which the investigation into the entire surgical team has been ongoing, but as of yet there is no concrete evidence that the daughter herself took actual part in the operation. It continues that the hospital management would like to express its utmost regret and extend its sincere apologies for the incident, and is also working fully to clarify the matter. I don't care how much they regret or apologize. They need to make it right, you know. That's because they're lucky that nothing went wrong.
Right.
Because
I know. I agree.
Because you know, things can get real serious.
They didn't. I don't even know how a 13-year-old slid past all that, like security, all the nurses that were there.
It was bring your daughter to work day. That's why, Liz.
I would never bring my kid into an OR. Not ever. You
know, like, okay, honey.
How much garbing I have to do. Like, I don't even want to put that on my kid. Like,
and look at that shit.
Come on, like, you don't like, hey, kiddo.
I only fill machines at night, y'all. I don't do anything of that nature in the OR.
Come on, like, hey, kiddo, you want to see how mommy works? Like, here we go.
Not a single fuck was given this
Let's go play with some drugs. You don't have a license to touch.
Here, it's just counting. Make sure you count from 1 to 12.
It's just an FYI, it's 5s and 10s depending on the situation.
You see, even easier. They can do it. But yeah, it's one of those things where we don't like. There's just so many. The hospital was right to let go of everyone, but it's the lack of communication to probably not the only patient, probably multiple patients. But I think this is one of the headline itself is wild, right? It's the biggest thing that's gonna happen. Right. Probably that day, that surgeon with their kid probably was doing a lot more things, give or take. So I think that the headline stating that this one patient, like, he has more than a right to be upset, not only from the staff but the hospital itself. But there's probably more. There's probably a bunch more individuals who were handled by this individual. So it sucks. It just you're just put in a spot where you really have very little ability to give consent to, and then this happens.
No kidding.
And then this happens to you. It makes people who are already hesitant about going into surgery even more hesitant. Like,
oh, I know. I know. I've been there. I remember a year ago. I did my own surgery, so.
Exactly. So imagine if little Timmy was in there with his dad. Like, don't worry.
That's not appropriate.
Imagine if they were starting to put you under. Like, don't worry. My son here he's learning to be a doctor. He's gonna be watching over you. And I'm like, what? And you just start to fade. No.
You don't really have. Well, for me, it was a lot of people react differently to anesthesia, and for me, it was funnier because I remember moving over. Do I remember anything after that? No, I have no fucking clue. If I was even conscious on another level, maybe, but I was unconscious in my mind because I went black. So
Fuck me, right?
I remember shit.
Oof.
I was supposedly been out of the, one of the time was out of the back queue for like a couple hours. And I was like, what? Where did the time go?
And look at that shit.
Exactly. And you just never know what happens in that period, right? So let's if another update comes to that, we'll look into it. But besides that, I hope some positive comes out of this. He gets some level of reimbursement for the level of pain of suffering. He's that not only him and probably
the hospital is gonna wipe it under the rug and hey, we'll pay you. Here you go, closed settlement, closed.
Better be a good settlement. Sometimes people don't like that things get settled, but if it's a good settlement, I'm fine with that. Get something out of your suffering. You've dealt with it long enough. Like sometimes how people want justice all the time. Justice can take a long time, and people sometimes don't have time.
No kidding.
So, is it you can leave your opinions down in the comments? Is it better to try to establish some level of justice, or just get a reasonable payday? That's a good question for another day. Or we can even talk about it in the bonus episode. Our thoughts on it, but you guys kind of get my thoughts on it right now. It's just like, if you can do it. Yeah, we have enough time for one more story.
There's so many good ones this time around. You got the toddler, the 140 miles per hour, 140 million-year-old destroyed, remains. Officials probe
140. How do you drive that fast?
Employee.
Let's do the driving one because I was driving a while ago.
We were just talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about that, right?
Yeah, let's go to that. That's fast.
Video shows teen driving nearly 140 miles per hour days before fatal crash outside Detroit. CBS News Detroit was obtaining shocking video of a teenager driving nearly 140 miles per hour just days before a high-speed crash that killed his friend last November. The victim's family wants the driver's mother to be charged because she's been tracking his reckless driving on a mobile app. Lily Luciano has more.
What? Do we have to actually listen to the video?
Oh, I guess so.
Okay, I'll play the video in a second. But just a thought, just for the thought. Anyways, have you ever supposedly? What's the fastest you ever supposedly driven on a vehicle? Max.
80.
Max.
Just to get around a car. And that's it. And then I dropped it down.
Your entire life?
Because it's too, no, yeah, my entire life. I've never driven faster than that. I actually just did it recently because I was trying to get around a slow truck, slow car, get around them.
Exactly, yeah.
Drop my speed real quick. But sometimes, man, it's the funny part. We were driving back from Crater Lake and we were experiencing these people. And it's like literally it opens up to a 2-lane thing and the slowest people start speeding up. And you're like, I'm trying to get past you. Slow the fuck down so I can get past around you. So I'm not driving 52 in a 65 mile per hour zone.
Exactly. So the max I've ever allegedly went was on a long
Allegedly.
allegedly was on a straightaway where I allegedly like hit on one of my older cars, hit 100. That's one time for like 5 seconds. Like, and that's like, you know, as fast as I allegedly ever went on it. And that was like my old car, because, you know, cars, as far as the speedometer goes, some cars, because people forget, like they can go way faster than it says on the thing, but there is a limiter, and a lot of people who know cars can remove that limiter off the vehicle to be able to get the most out of their vehicle. But sometimes people ask the question is like, why make a car go 120 miles an hour when you're not legally able to go 120 miles an hour, you know? I think there's one road in Europe that there's no speed limit at all. And then the Autobahn, there you go. I was trying to think of the name. And I remember for a while there was a long straightaway road in Nevada heading into Vegas, I think, that people were trying to to petition to make it like the Autobahn, because it's just a long straightaway just to make it, you know, that. But it's a mix of things like this. This was a young driver, sadly, and some younger drivers for the most part aren't, like, you know, depending on statistics, are not really the safest here and there, but it's also the people around them too. So let's kind of hear what the news says from Linda. What is it? Linda, let's see. Sano?
Lilia? Ciano?
Let's hear Lilia.
That's how I pronunciate it.
All right, let's hear what they have to say.
I got an ad.
40 miles per hour, just days. CBS News has obtained shocking video showing a Michigan teenager driving nearly 140 miles per hour just days before a high-speed crash last November that killed his friend. The victim's family wants the driver's mother to be charged because she had been tracking his reckless driving on a mobile app. We get more now from CBS's Lilia Luciano.
Every day I wake up and it literally feels like a horror show.
This is what's left of the BMW X3 from the crash that killed Ann Banker's 18-year-old son, Flynn Mackerel, minutes after he left his home in Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, last November.
I tried to grab him from behind.
Flynn's 16-year-old friend, Kiernan Tagg, was behind the wheel. Police say driving over 100 miles per hour on a residential street where the limit was 25. He survived.
What?
Investigators found videos on Tagg's phone showing a pattern of excessive speeding. Matched, they say, by records from an app called Life 360, which his mother used to track his car in the weeks leading up to the crash. In just 17 days, the app recorded a quarter of his trips involved speeds over 100 miles per hour, 10% over 120 miles per hour. Tagg's mother was concerned about his driving, texting him, "It scares me to my bone, and slow the F down right now." Mackerel's parents believe Tagg's mother, Elizabeth Pulio Tagg, could and should have stopped him.
What kind of justice are you seeking?
I think both of them should go to jail.
Gross negligence, manslaughter.
They compare the case to that of the Oxford, Michigan school shooter Ethan Crumley. His parents were convicted for not securing the gun he used in the 2021 killing of 4 people. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson says she believes this case could be even stronger.
She had months and months of knowledge of her son's reckless driving. And she not only failed to take the keys away, she actually gave him a car that could go faster.
Tagg was charged with second-degree murder. Right now he's out on bail, but if he's convicted and sentenced as an adult, he could face life in prison.
Okay, that is. I'll wait for you, Liz. But that is wild.
It is absolutely wild. Like, I am just flabbergasted that this mother literally was watching it and told him to slow down multiple times. Like,
over a period of months, right? Over a period of months, like, I wouldn't deny it. Everyone goes a little over the speed limit, for the most part here and there. Definitely some people go a little bit way over the speed limit. I know there's like a lot of insurance companies that provide like benefits if you are, within, following the laws and everything, and things of that nature. And I'm always surprised that people, which is a positive and negative thing, that, when people use driving apps and stuff like that, because I'm a big heavy Google Maps person, and it tells you the speed limit and stuff like that. But then, people who are going way faster than they're supposed to is like recorded on those devices, because it tells me, where have you been in the past month? And like, you've been here, 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 and here. But it's also been tracking how fast you're going and things of that nature. And there's certain apps, like the one the mother was using, to track how fast someone's been going. And what are your thoughts as a parent here?
I think it's appropriate to use an app to know what your kid is doing, and especially in a car that is more than my living wage. I would want to guide that. But the fact that the mother knowingly knew that this kid was driving way too fast, should have taken and grounded him. It's simple as that. Ground him. Take the keys away. It's not that hard. But the fact that she did not do that, and this kid lost their lives because they decided to get in the car with this person, thinking they were a good driver.
Well, I don't
had some knowledge. They're boys, so they probably had knowledge of knowing that they go really super fast. But
mostly
got to be a point. Somebody's got to be responsible for something like this. This is negligible. Yes, this is not good. This is not absolutely.
What are your thoughts? Yeah,
walked away from this case. Like, why is it always that? Why is it that people who have done the bad always walk away from these cases? Like, they don't get a second chance. They really don't. They don't deserve this second chance. Sometimes I think about it. It's the people that, lives who matter the most should have been around longer. So, I don't know. I just feel like that always seems to be the story of cases when you hear high speed cases, or the drunk drivers, or like these. It just seems to happen way too often.
True. What do you think what are your thoughts when they're trying to prosecute the parent in cases like this? Yes, no?
I believe they are just as responsible. You're responsible for another human life. You're raising that child to do good and do well in this life. And if you failed to do your due diligence of keeping things locked up, like the guns, the drugs, like, or anything, or allowing them to be exposed to the drug world, depending on the situation, and having access and distributing. I mean, there's got to be some sort of, you're responsible. You're the adult. They are not the adult. The adult's supposed to be taking care of that child and doing their due diligence and protecting the child and protecting the world. And they didn't do their part.
Exactly. Mostly in this case, where there was more than enough evidence. Like, after the first ample evidence.
Sufficiently enough.
Okay, like the first time it happened, like, hey, you can't be doing that, that, and just like scold them at that point. But there was multiple repeated actions where they were hitting triple digit numbers, like, and mostly the final incident, which I thought it was on which was on the highway, was on a residential street, like
25 miles per hour,
like
going more than 100 times that speed.
Like that one is way too much. The sad fortunate thing is that only one person, because if there could have been people on that road, or since it was a residential area, right, and like a home with people around,
animals, exactly.
The sad fortunate thing, it was just one person, but it's just one person that didn't need to be lost,
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're gonna end it there because there's been so much, and there's still more stories to talk about, but we'll probably talk about those in the bonus episodes because there's some more intense, crazy stuff happening out there. Any final thoughts on any of the stories we talked about, Liz? Like, there's a lot. I think this episode was more about people being held responsible for certain things.
Yeah, no kidding. Just be responsible. Like, just take accountable for your actions. I mean, yeah, it is disheartening. I mean, adults need to take responsibility for their actions. That's just it. Be responsible for your actions. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for listening or watching. Catch the bonus episode later. And like I said, next week's bonus episode will be our camping bonus episode. So until next time, see ya.
It's just so weird that because you have a third party use that you literally sign away
Your rights. It makes you wonder some of the things you're signing away.
Oh, because I own Disney Plus, I can't go to court with them, but I will go through an arbitration.
Anything aboard after 93 can't cook. All they know is McDonald's charge their phony hot chip and live.